Greetings, everybody. This is Harmony speaking. For those that are new to my channel, this will be a quick recap. For those who have been around for a while, well, again, just be a quick recap. Basically what's going on in the universe, but we gotta get back to a little bit of the fundamentals. So basically everything you can experience in this reality are explained by the four forces, which are represented by this little circle here, here, and here, and here. In no particular order, there's a strong nuclear force, electromagnetic, the weak nuclear force, and gravity. So there's four forces in the universe that explain everything we can see, touch, hear, smell, fly through airplanes, you know. They can all be explained by these four forces. And Einstein spent, I don't know, around 20 years of his life trying to unify the four forces of the universe and define their origin point. Unfortunately, he didn't succeed. He died before he could do it. But what we did know back then, even today, represented by this large circle, there's two fields of physics. There's general relativity, which is everything that's large, you know, things you can see, think of it that way. And over here, represented by this circle, there's the field of quantum physics. And he is also trying to unify these two fields of physics because, over in like general relativity, all the math made sense, like 1 + 1 = 2, no problem, we all loved it. You come over here to the quantum field of physics, and everything's really bizarre and kooky and spooky. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. Things don't make sense. 1 + 1 no longer equals 2, it equals all kind of bizarre things. And as long as you're using the math and the physics for quantum physics, you can explain everything beautifully. It makes all sense. And then as long as you're working just within the field of general relativity and using that physics and that math, everything is beautiful, but they don't make sense to each other. So Einstein is trying to unify these two fields of physics and the four forces. The problem was he's basically missing the third field of physics, which I call the invisible. I'll leave you a link in the description below and in the comments. It's a Google Drive link to my paper so you can read it at your leisure, go through the diagrams. I'm only touching on one aspect. It goes into a lot of other things, so definitely check that out. But to get back to what we're talking about, after Albert Einstein died, we came up with string theory, supersymmetry theory, M theory, and all these theories all are in agreement that there are 10 dimensions. The problem is there's 10 dimensions that can explain general relativity, but they don't make sense over here. So there's also 10 dimensions in quantum physics. And they're like, well, we're just going to say there's 10 dimensions and we can't figure out how to unify them. We can't figure out how to unify the four forces. We can't find the origin point, yada, yada. So, and then they came up with M theory, which is in my paper, and we'll talk about that later. But anyway, getting back on track. So basically, all these theories agree that there are 10 dimensions, which is represented. We don't count this dark arc. That's in my paper. We'll talk about that later. We talk about the intersections here. Might be easier if I do this. I'm scratching your back. We don't talk about this little arc right here. We do count the intersections along here. You can count them here, but it's a little more confusing. Basically, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So again, with this thing, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 intersections here, and the exact mirror on the bottom, another 5, which represent, in what some people call the string theory, the 10 dimensions. So the 10 dimensions are represented here. And then, of course, the same thing over here, another 10 dimensions. We'll talk about how to unify it all later, but more important, the point of this video is to talk about how the universe, and this, by the way, this is how the universe is today, but the original shape of the universe didn't have 10 dimensions here, and it did not have 10 dimensions here. The original universe actually had 8 dimensions here and 8 dimensions here. Again, we don't count the arc. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, mirror 4. the original universe was designed to be an eighth dimensional universe. What happened is some eighth dimensional beings figured things out. They figured out how to siphon energy. Notice in this diagram, the easiest thing to notice is that the four forces are much, much larger compared to this one. See how it's all even? And this is how it is today. Excuse me, let me get a drink here real quick. So you can see, these, well, if you draw a line, these are much, much bigger. They stick out more. So anyway, these beings, they tapped in and they learned how to split a dimension here and then created an extra dimension. And then they went down here and created a spike and it bounced back. So you can see that here. They split the dimensions and then created an extra dimension here, came around, spiked back. They did the same thing here. So in essence, they created the ninth and 10th dimension is what I'm getting at. The original universe was only supposed to have 8. They figured out how to split a dimension right here, and they created the ninth and 10th dimension. In doing that, they were able to begin to siphon energy. And as you know, energy, you can consider it, the most important, what do you call it? National security or, anyway. Energy is huge, 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 huge. So, there's a reason for it. So anyway, they managed to siphon this energy, so then they could split dimensions. And then what happened next is, shocker, spoiler alert, if you didn't know this is not the only universe. There is another universe. This is not the only one. So beings from once this technology happened, these folks, of course, in my paper, I get into it. Basically, these beings are trapped here, and they know they're trapped here. There's actually a universe before this one. In my paper, I'm not going to get into it right now. I'll show you the universe before this one. But anyway, these guys came in from a side-by-side universe, tapped in through the ninth and 10th dimension, came in here and started really messing with things, and the universe got completely out of control. So, folks say God, I say true source God, creator is the word I like, is aware of the situation and is in the process of shutting down the ninth and the 10th dimension, because there's one line here, ninth, a line down here, 10. So that's how you get the 2 extra dimensions. So source, all the good folks, benevolent beings, they're in the process of shutting down the ninth and 10th dimension, getting things back to where they were supposed to be. Then that will actually expel these, they're actually interdimensional beings that popped in from another universe. Once we shut down, the ninth dimension is their, it's high tech. If you want to use human words for a minute, the technology is just billions of years. These folks have been around for billions and billions of years. So this technology is billions of years old. I mean, just think about it. Not too long ago, we weren't even flying an airplane. Think about if we had billions of years of technology. So anyway, we're going to be shutting this down, and hopefully that will make everyone's lives more easy and hunky-dory. Until next time, everybody, I hope you're doing well out there. God bless, peace, and be with you.